Buu, a name that never came out of our mouths until a few weeks ago when he became a major player in the Blac, Chyna, and Rob Kardashian saga that never seems to end. Being that he stirred up so much between these two co-parents, it had ourselves asking one major question. Who the f is Kid Buu? We're going to dive into his past and his present right now, and trust me, this is something you need to hear, as crazy as it may seem.
Is the whole world gone crazy?
How's it going, guys? I'm Madison Hill. You all know there have been a lot of players in Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna's game that have made things worse for the ex-couple. However, I'd like to argue that Kid Buu is one of the worst.
Ew, this guy's the worst.
That's why we're going to take time to dive deep about who the guy actually is. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will be thinking, what in the hell is this guy on? Kid Buu, whose real name is Marquez Leo Santiago, hails from New Jersey. At least his first generation self does. Now, if you're asking yourself, what do you mean first generation self? I did too, and you guys, it gets really freaking weird. Fun fact, Kid claims he's a clone and that his second gen self is from Toronto. I wish I was joking, but sadly, I'm not.
My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonate in Canada.
What? He goes on to give his model number for anyone who wants to double check his cloning status. If you want to double check,
My model number is 0112568, if anyone wants to see the registration and Clonate.
if you can prove that to me, then bonus points to you because it sounds too crazy to believe. It literally sounds like something straight out of the Twilight Zone.
You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
I wish I could say I was kidding, but in a previous interview with XXL Magazine last December, he claims to not remember anything beyond the last 6 years or so. He said, quote, I did undergo a brainwashing process that did erase and eliminate a lot of things that are considered negative. He claims this process helped eliminate anything aggressive in his mind that would have been toxic to himself and his livelihood, which is ironic because the guy has a horrible criminal past, but I'll get to that in a second. He said, quote, for that reason, a lot of stuff is really hard to remember, even stuff from my childhood. If you're thinking there's no way Kid Buu could take this clone nonsense any further, let me remind you of the time he went live on Instagram with said clone.
Sure you want me to do this? Yeah, fuck that shit, go ahead.
If that wasn't weird enough, he also posted about getting microchipped. Not entirely sure if that has anything to do with his weird claim that he's a clone, but nonetheless, he posted it on Instagram, and it just goes to further prove the guy is a weird dude.
Kid Buu just got a secret investor. He requested I be microchipped.
Anyway, moving right along, despite Kid Buu's behavior, his second gen, or honestly, I don't know what gen self, is actually 30 years old. He kicked off his rap career going by the name Humongous the God, aka HXTXG. He later changed it to the name we know him by today, Kid Buu. Surprisingly, his name was inspired by the Dragon Ball Z character who goes by the same name. Being that I am not well versed in the world of Dragon Ball Z, what can I say? I was more of a Pokemon girl because Pikachu is so cute. I did some research as to why Kid Buu would choose him over any other character. According to the site Fandom, Kid Buu's personality is like that of a young, spoiled, selfish kid. He lacks compassion or remorse for any of his actions. The site says that the Kid Buu character is similar to a, quote, low-functioning sociopath. He's apparently unpredictable in his behavior and actions, similar to that of a child. Low-functioning sociopath. I'd say that's right on the money. Keep all those factors in mind as we continue our journey into who the F Kid Buu is, because I'll be real with you all, I can see some similarities, and it's kind of creepy that human Kid Buu and Dragon Ball Z Kid Buu are that alike.
It's just getting weird.
Now, as you might have guessed, there's more to Kid Buu than him being a rapper who got his name from a Dragon Ball Z character who claims he's a clone. He also has a criminal record, and a pretty intense one at that. Back in 2008, Kid Buu pled guilty to charges of child abuse, obstruction of justice, robbery, and criminal mischief. Now, some key information here that I'm sure gets lost a lot of the time is that his child abuse charge was labeled as child abuse with no harm. He previously told XXL magazine that at the time of the incident, he was 18 while the alleged victim was 16 or 17. He went on to say, quote, "I know that'll sound confusing to a lot of viewers because how could somebody be abused if no harm is done?" He went on to say that it is confusing and that he learned Florida law the hard way. He said, quote, "Someone had called the police and did say that I was intimidating and threatening a witness to not testify on a friend. Hence the child abuse with no harm." Since these charges, Kid Buu has been doing the most with his music. He started garnering attention last year on SoundCloud with his single Double Up, Run It Up, and Death to SoundCloud, that second one gaining almost 3 million streams. While that's great and all, that hasn't stopped drama from finding Kid Buu.
I swear I don't love the drama, it loves me.
You see, before Kid Buu ever became a player in the Blac, Chyna, and Rob Kardashian saga, he dated YouTuber Sarah Penman, or Jane Cobain, as she goes on Instagram.
Is that part of the confusion too?
She went on her YouTube channel and released a 49-minute video about her experience dating Kid Buu, and she did not hold back with the crazy allegations. Most notably, the fact that Kid Buu lied to her about having a daughter. She claims she found out about the baby by overhearing a tense phone call he had with his baby mama.
All I'm hearing is her saying that he's a deadbeat, that he hasn't seen his daughter in over a year now.
She went on to say that when she confronted Kid Buu about him withholding this very important detail about his life, he didn't seem fazed at all.
What do you mean you have a daughter? And what do you mean you're gonna say this so nonchalantly?
Remember how I told you he's similar to his Dragon Ball Z character? Yeah, this seems like some serious low-functioning sociopath stuff to me. Throughout the video, Sarah went on to make more accusations, mainly that he was incredibly emotionally abusive and a master manipulator and liar.
He lies and lies and lies.
She claims that she struggles with the effects of her toxic relationship.
I'm getting PTSD thinking about this shit again.
Well, I find it hard to believe that anyone would go on social media and make such wild claims if there wasn't some truth to them. You never know. I think it is really true what people say. There are two sides to every story, and the truth is likely somewhere in the middle. Being that Kid Buu claims he's a clone and this girl goes by 2 different names, I don't really know who to trust. It is worth mentioning that Kid Buu has addressed his relationship with this Sarah, Jane, whatever her name is, and of course he maintains that she is not telling the truth.
You're a liar.
During an interview with XXL magazine, Kid Buu says he met Sarah on Tinder and that at the end of the day, she just said those things because she's, quote, clout chasing, aka the favorite excuse of everyone in 2019. Kid went on to say, quote, "They just want fame. They're willing to do anything and everything, even if it dishonors someone who was a kind friend in the past, and make up lies." He also specifically addressed her claim that he lied about having a daughter. Kid told the magazine, quote, "As far as my daughter, I mean, everyone knows my daughter. Like, if you had me on social media, it's through there. It's not a secret." Not sure what social media Kid Buu was talking about, considering we've gone through his Instagram several times and there are no pictures of his daughter, but okay. If it makes you feel better to say you're not hiding her, then you do you, Kid Buu. I'm not going to sit here and judge you on that when there's a whole lot more that we need to discuss.
That's the least of our worries.
Like how Kid Buu plays into the latest Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna drama. Okay, before Kid Buu came into the picture, you know Rob and Chyna have been at each other's throats essentially ever since they split. There's been lawsuits, restraining orders, the whole 9 yards. However, the thing that arguably reignited the press frenzy is the fact that Rob wanted to take Chyna back to court to readdress their custody agreement with Dream. As of right now, Rob and Chyna have joint custody of Dream, and Rob has to pay Chyna $20,000 in child support. This was an agreement they reached if Chyna dropped the restraining order she had against him. However, recently Rob has hit a major financial snag. He claims that he can no longer afford these $20,000 a month child support payments because Chyna has essentially stopped his bag. After her allegations, Rob claims it made it difficult for him to be on social media, aka unable to make money through that, and on his family's famous reality show. On top of that, his sock company, Arthur George, has also hit a major financial snag that Mama Chris had to bail him out of by purchasing the majority of the company. Either way, you get it. Rob and Chyna's drama didn't start because of Kid Buu, but it definitely escalated because of him.
That's an understatement.
Recently, TMZ broke the news that Blac Chyna decided to ditch mom duties and fly to Hawaii to spend time with Kid Buu. The two were a couple at the time. Apparently, Rob went to drop Dream off with Chyna's nanny. He could not get a hold of her, Chyna, or anyone on her team. After trying endlessly, a source reported that Rob finally got a hold of someone who revealed that Chyna was out of town with her boyfriend, and of course, Rob flipped his freaking lid. A source told Radar Online Chyna felt Rob freaked out and went to the media because he was jealous of her new relationship. I mean, her and Kid Buu were all over each other on social media. It was a bit much for me. While sources close to Rob state he was just upset because he doesn't want Dream's mom time being spent entirely with nannies, something that seems completely reasonable to me. However, just as quickly as Kid Buu and Chyna's romance began, it ended as the two got into a major fight and Kid Buu started posting about sliding into someone else's DMs. That someone else would be Alexis Sky, Chyna's most recent nemesis and someone Rob likes as well. Therefore, Kid Buu really knew how to hit Chyna where it hurt. Now, when we saw these two going from grinding to potentially splitting, we were all asking ourselves what the F is going on. But that was later cleared up as well. You see, after Kid Buu posted about sliding into Alexis's DMs, TMZ broke the news that police and paramedics were called to Kid and Chyna's Hawaiian hotel room. Apparently, Kid Buu cheated on Chyna while they were on vacation together. She found out and a physical fight ensued. Sources reported that Chyna scratched Kid while he allegedly threw her against a wall and choked her. While TMZ reported that no one was taken to the hospital and no one was taken into custody, people were still pretty outraged and equally confused. However, one thing they did know is that Kid Buu and Chyna were done. He also made that clear with this Instagram post. He posted this picture and wrote, "I wish I could travel time and erase the day I met you." Later, Kid Buu did come out and deny allegations that he got physical with Chyna on his favorite mode of communication, Instagram Live.
My mother, my mom raised me better than that. I will never put my hands on a woman. Never have I, and never will I.
All I know is that this fight set off Rob Kardashian and Mama Kris to start the fight for full custody of Little Dream. And shockingly, Blac Chyna's mom, Tokyo Toni, agrees. Shout out to TMZ for letting us use this video. First, Tokyo admits that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that Chyna is going through something right now. Therefore, she says she thinks it would be the right thing for Dream to go be with her dad for now until Chyna can get it together. She says this is something that happens every day in America.
I don't think nothing is wrong with children going with their dad till their mothers get better. It happens in everyday homes.
However, Chyna's mom did not stop there. She continued to go after Kid Buu because, in my opinion, it sounds like she blames him for Chyna's recent downfall.
First of all, let's start off with this dude talking about he a clown. His little, excuse the French, he's crazy.
Tokyo Toni goes on to say that she does not want him around her grandchildren, especially with his criminal record, and that if she ever comes in contact with him, it won't be, quote, cute. Being that Chyna made her own little Instagram statements, I don't think Tokyo Toni will have to worry about Kid Buu being in the picture anymore. After their Hawaiian vacation, Chyna made that very clear. First, she posted this picture of herself, and in the words of Ariana Grande, she wrote, "Thank you next." Followed by this one that caught a lot of backlash where she wrote, "Too blessed to be stressed." As you can imagine, people thought this was just a tad inappropriate, considering she just made headlines for ditching her mom duties, getting into a physical fight with her boyfriend, and potentially losing custody of one of her children. However, that's not the point here. The point is that now we finally know who the Kid Buu is. He's a clone. His second-gen self is named after a Dragon Ball Z character who is shockingly very similar to him. He has a child, at least we think so, a not-so-great criminal record, and he got totally mixed up in Chyna and Rob's drama. I guess now we just get to sit back and see what he does with this newfound fame thanks to Chyna. Let's hope from here on out, him and his clone stay out of trouble. All right, you guys, I am so ready to hear your thoughts here. Do you finally know who the F Kid Buu is? What about him was most shocking? For me, I think it would be the whole clone situation because I'm not over it, but I'm dying to know what you think. As always, you guys know we have the latest celeb news, so check out our recent video, and to stay caught up on all of your favorite celebrities, subscribe to Hollyscoop now.